that are tuning in and attendees that already have your ticket and those that are on the fence, welcome to this next Meet Your Speaker. I'm super excited to introduce you all to Jennifer. We go by first names here because we're all Beyonce, so we're all just going to go by first names throughout the whole conference because we are all the queens and kings and any gender that you would like to call yourself or be part of. We are part of that community. So I understand, Jennifer, that you are one of your superpowers is coming up with luxurious micro weddings in a mere 24 hours, and you are revolutionizing our industry. Share a little bit about that information. We got to talk about all your media things because, Lord, I don't know. We have to ask for interviews and autographs and get all those selfies with you because I'm telling you, you've got so many fans out there excited to see you in person. But tell me a little bit about this, how you revolutionize this in a mere 24 hours and you're changing our industry.
Right. So, and back in 2017 is when I launched my business, Just Elope. And I know since the pandemic, we've had elopements pop up everywhere around.
Everywhere.
And so one of the things that I wanted to make sure that I did to continuously stay above the curve as everyone else pivoted was really honing in on what we do best. So because we have gotten these packages and our offering down packed, I realized I really only need 24 hours notice in order to actually pull this off. And I realized that leaning into that one little thing, saying in 24 hours, I can make a difference. Now, the average couple, do they book in 24 hours? No, but the purpose of it is all about the marketing behind it and knowing that if somebody did, we can execute.
And I think if there's a client looking for that might be all they have to know is, oh, this lady right here, she can get that done. That's how I think sometimes we forget in this industry that we are giving our clients and potential clients so much information that they just don't give a crap about. Can you do this? When can you do this? And how soon can you make this happen? And oh, by the way, it's just going to be great at doing what you want to do. And I think we as an industry are like, okay, if I don't have 75 email forms, if I don't have 75 clicks on my website, how is somebody going to hire me? Share a little bit about how you believe being true to yourself is the way to get yeses from clients, because you're obviously doing something right. You have that personality, you have that business sense. And the second part of that question is, how do you marry those two together to be successful?
You know what? I think that you said something great, which is staying true to yourself. I wanted to create a business that allowed me to be the type of wife, mom, and person that I wanted to be. I know that my style, I have 3 sons. So being at a wedding for 8 hours a day, 12 hours a day was not what I needed or wanted just due to the fact of my family lifestyle. So I really leaned into something that I would actually want to do and be a part of. And that was creating these micro weddings and elopements where we are together for 99% of the time, a max of 2 hours.
Yep.
So you can't, whenever you're doing something that comes naturally and you're okay with it, you can do anything for two hours. You can smile, you can have the worst day possible, and you can manage to muster through and smile for 2 hours. A 12-hour day, on the other hand, that's a whole nother story. And I realized that I like to meet my couples where they are. We live in an age where people like to text. Not everybody wants to hop on a Zoom call or talk on the telephone. Great. We can text. 80% of the weddings that I book, I never, ever speak to these people on the phone prior to us showing up to their wedding day.
Amen.
We do all communication via text. I send over their contracts through email. Now they're in their client portals, and we just keep that communication going there because that is what they want. And although, most couples don't book their weddings within 24 hours, what does give them the peace of mind is, oh, well, I only have 90 days. I only have in their mind when they reach out to me and they're like, I want to get married in 3 months. I know that's super last minute. Can you help me? And then I turn around and say, I could do this in 24 hours. They're like,
I can name that tune in 3 notes. That's exactly. Well, and we also block ourselves. I think we make it so hard to get the money. We make it so hard for people to. Some people just want to go, I've looked at your Instagram. I've read all the things about you. Can you take my money? I need to do this. And I think, especially at ABC, because as you know, we have people that are 2 years and less to people that have been in this industry for 40 years. We all can learn and we all have to adapt. And I'm the same way. I get people, people know I'm a Diet Mountain Dew fanatic. So people sometimes will send me a text going, sitting on the beach with the Diet Mountain Dew, wonder if you can help me plan a wedding. I'll send back a photo. Here's my Diet Mountain Dew. What do you want to know? Right? Here's the conversation.
Yeah, let's do it.
I travel all over and I'm since retired as of last year behind the camera, but I travel all over in the same way. I may not meet you until the day I see you.
Correct.
The conversation and what has to happen is our personalities are the story driver. Yes. People want to invest with us, and you make that easy. That's why you're that go-to person. So I want you to share a little bit about when attendees are coming to listen, because you're going to talk about mastering those micro weddings. So even if somebody hasn't done micro weddings or maybe doesn't think it's possible, share why they need to come and listen with an open mind and open heart to your session so they can make a shift, maybe add a new revenue stream. How can they set themselves up for success by just being open to trying something new?
Number one is that if you are not coming to listen to what I have to say, you are leaving money on the table.
Yep.
Because there is so many elements within the bridal industry that you can make additional income. And I have literally mastered being the elopement planner and the officiant. So I'm able to, for lack of better words, double dip on the ceremonies that I plan. So by you being able to get paid twice off of one wedding, why would you not want to learn how to do that? How you can also, in that exact same moment, master your marketing to get more clients for these type of weddings. I'm telling you, it's going to be phenomenal. I do it all the time, and I want to share with other people how they can add on additional income to their business.
And not get stuck in just this tunnel. We always hear that wedding pros are like, oh, there's no money in this industry. I'm not growing. And yet, by the same token, Jennifer, we have XYZ ways to make seven steps to 10 figures, 5 steps to 5. Why are we limiting our figures? So stop even going to something that says 7 figures. Just open up your window and open up your mind, and what's coming to you is coming for you, right? So if you're coming to the mindset and getting in your mindset that maybe you are, as we talked about earlier, you are just overburnt and burnt out on these 12-hour weddings. Because remember, this is an industry where you are working for them before you meet the client, all the way till even after. So it's not just oh my gosh, Bobbi, as a wedding photographer, you get $10,000 for one day work. Not true. That's a myth out there, right? So how can we come and do? And so having sessions like yours that opens up that revenue stream, and let's face it, Jennifer, and let's talk about it. Why in this industry are sometimes we're afraid to actually make money, but we're complaining that we don't make money? Why do you think why do you think that's so hard in our industry to ask for money, but then complain we don't have any?
I think that the biggest thing is people are afraid to talk. So many people are jaded by the wedding tax. They think that everybody thinks that because it's wedding, it's going to be so much more money, it's so much more expensive. It's not that it's so much money and so it's much more expensive. If you have a talent and a skill set that you have honed, and now you are able to take that and give somebody else a beautiful day and a peace of mind, charge for it. Because you are not, when the doctor comes into your room and they spend 10 minutes with you and they then bill, $5,000 or whatever that number is, you're not paying for those 10 minutes. You're paying for the 20 years of schooling that they have. So you have to step into your own, get out of that imposter syndrome. Be confident in what you bring to the table. And if confidence is something that you lack, go back and look at the things that you have done. Go back and look at those goals that you set last year. See how far along you've come. Because when you are a creative, it is really hard. We are hard on ourselves. We have to keep going. And the reality is we don't take time to sit back and say, man, look how far I have come. You let one client who doesn't respect your pricing, say you're too high, make you question everything that you are doing. That is not the case.
Exactly. And if you take a step back, your past self is so damn proud of where you are right now. So you have to own that and get ready. We strive to, I think in this industry, we think, oh my gosh, if somebody said no to me, what did I do wrong? No, next opportunity. No is next opportunity, because what is meant for you is coming for you, my friends. So
Okay.
don't worry about passing on. If somebody passed on you, it just wasn't meant to be. But take that skill set. I also want you to touch a little bit about how when we get into the confidence factor of we're missing something, how if we sit down and take a look and see how maybe just removing some items that might be blocking us from moving forward. And maybe instead of doing those 15 big weddings, you add in 4 or 5 small weddings. Explain that just because it's micro does not mean it's small budget.
And oh gosh, let's be clear on that one. Having a micro wedding just means that your guest count is lower.
Yep.
It does not mean that your budget necessarily has to be lower. Now, what I have created is a situation where those two things have married, for lack of, for our pun today.
Keep it going.
Have been married to each other and is able to work. But also offer a custom option for the couple who wants a small guest count, but the budget is, there is no limit. But what I think more so than anything is that when you look at what other people are doing online, it can sometimes jade you to what you're doing. So you feel like, oh, well, this person's now offering courses, so I need to offer courses. This person is doing destination weddings, so in order to me make some money, do what you do well. I do micro weddings well. I do weddings with 0 to 50 guests extremely well. Just because I see this next person planning large, luxurious weddings with a minimum $40,000 floral budget, that is not something that I do well. So I don't,
or maybe even aspire to do.
I have no aspirations of, I'm a boy mom times 3. My days are consumed by my husband, my children, my job, my this, my that. I don't want to spend 20 hours a day at someone's wedding. That's just not my style. And I realize that there are people out there that don't have a desire to spend a 12-hour day on a wedding. And I honed in on those people. Find your tribe and stay there.
Right. And and if that circle isn't supporting you, that's just a block. It's a box you're in. If that circle that you're around is not cheering for you when you fall down, or are not honest enough to say, hey, you know what? I just experienced this with you, and I think you said that in a different tone. Try this. Listen to that feedback. Invite that feedback, but also get that feedback from people who are doing what you want to do. And you're going to hear Jennifer and I say it again. You may not aspire to do what they're doing, so don't follow in that same track. Take what you're learning at this conference. Take what Jennifer's going to be teaching and the other conference speakers, and I want you to go home and put your twist on this, but I need you to go home and implement it. Jennifer, talk a little bit about why you feel education is important and why this is a conference that is mostly planners. Every niche, every other business person maybe that's running a small creative business could benefit from attending. Explain why for you and in your business and your career, how continuing education is vital and important.
I think for me, hearing something that I already know confirmed always helps me grow. I may not have all the answers and I may think I'm right on something, but when I go to a class or a seminar and someone who I also hold in high esteem reiterates that and confirms it for me, is something that really stands out and makes me realize I am walking in my right path. Because you may have an issue with your pricing, and you may hear me say McDonald's sells a burger bundle for $2.50. There is
$5.95 now in 2024.
There is somebody who cannot afford that. So does that mean that they need to lower the price? No, it does not. So just because somebody cannot afford you does not mean you're too expensive. That just means that you're not the person for their budget. And I think going to classes and getting that education definitely allows people to hear the perspective from other people that have broken past that barrier of self-doubt, broken past that barrier of, well, what if it doesn't work? I'm willing to try whatever. If it pops into my mind, I'm going to try it. Trial and error. I will succeed. I will learn. I'll never fail. I will learn. And I want to pass that on in educating other people. And that's why I feel like going to conferences always helps, because you are now listening to people who had the guts to get up there and see what worked or what didn't work. And now you're able to learn from their life lessons so that you are on a better footing than what they were.
Well, and share right now, as I say that all the speakers, we're not offering you the elevator pass. We're
Yeah.
just helping you things. I mean, I'm a firm believer that you need to fall down and skin your knees in order to be humbled, and to really appreciate your craft. Share if you can for a minute why it wasn't always as easy for you. It might have been your path and your mission, but maybe share something, a stumble that you learned and you immediately made a change.
Oh gosh. So the number one thing is when I first started my business, I kept saying, oh, I need to quit my job. I need to quit my job and do this full time. Like that was like such a thing for me. But what I learned is that working my full-time job while running my business and getting it established allowed me to set boundaries in my business that I lacked. So whenever you first start a business, you are always going to accept things in the beginning that as you become seasoned that you would not. If your package is for 10 people and somebody says, well, I have 12, if you are only running your business, you have no other income, you are probably going to be like, oh, okay, you can bring 12. So you're going to start to bend at everyone's request, and you'll never be able to build up a solid foundation for your business. And I learned quickly that in the beginning, I was doing that. I was, oh, well, you can't do this. Okay, well, yeah, this will be fine. And I realized I was just running in a circle. I never felt like I was fulfilled financially because I was constantly giving these deals and breaks. And it was stressful. And I realized, you know what? I need to stand firm. It may mean that this client is not going to book me, but by the time the next one comes, I'll have it down packed so well that if they don't choose to move forward, then I'm okay with that because these are my boundaries. So
Well,
that's my big
I think that's a huge mistake that you want to leave a 9 to 5 to work 24/7, 365, never a vacation. And also you're going to be the worst boss that you've ever had, and you're not going to fire yourself. So think about that as you want to grow. And caveating with that is, and I know I say it with all due respect, if you get stuck, and I use the word stuck because you say yes all the time to, just using a number here, that $1,000 client, guess what all their friends are? The budget of 1,000. And even though they might tell their friends, oh, we hired Jennifer for $10,000, they're going to go, really? Your wedding didn't look like that. Correct. They're not going to say 1,000, but they're also, that's the circle. So you have to believe in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, nobody else is going to say yes. And I think clients, potential clients for micro weddings or big weddings, have to hear that passion, have to hear and see that you bring that wow to them. And that's what you're going to get when you come to ABC. You have all the speakers, you have all the attendees, struggles, hiccups. Nobody's afraid to share. I wish we did more of that in this industry about, I stumbled, I filed bankruptcy 3 times, but I'm still here. Look at all the Walt Disney, so many people file bankruptcy. They just never quit, because quitting should never be a chapter in your story. Yeah. So exactly. So Jennifer, homework for the people to come. What should they prepare for? Do they need to go, okay, I want to start micro weddings, but this is what I do. What questions can they bring? And by the way, do not be afraid to reach out to Jennifer. Kathy, the social media person, ABC, has already listed all our connections. So DM, get in there, ask a question. Let her know, let Jennifer know, because again, we tailor some of our presentations when we start hearing the needs that you all are struggling with. And again, there's a speaker room this year at ABC that Aaron has come up with. So you'll be able to get some questions more one-on-one. And Jennifer, like the rest of us, are going to be walking around the conference. But prepare right now by getting some DMs. Get into Jennifer. She might answer you right away, but let her start making a little bit of a list so she can tailor it. But Jennifer, what homework should we do? What can we bring to be best prepared, to be open and ready to receive your message?
Come in ready to learn how you can not only plan elopements and micro weddings, but by becoming a wedding officiant, you can now double dip into the process so that you can make even more money. So any question that you can think about as far as being ordained, writing a ceremony, what to do, the marriage license, I can answer any of those questions, as well as how do you find the perfect spots to host these outdoor free elopements, free venue locations, or very, very minimal payment. Let's talk about all of those things. I want to give you all the tips and tricks that I've never shared in a public forum before that has helped me grow my business to well over 6 figures.
I love that. And again, you don't have to be a wedding planner. My wife, years ago, I figured I'm in a destination market. I live in Ireland. I travel all over, but people want to come here and get married. So I'm like, why am I looking for going on the big box stores and finding an officiant that goes, oh, I'm coming, and then they don't show up. So guess what? 7 years ago, so now she does all the weddings for all the small events that we used to do.
Correct.
And again, that's just a little bit extra money. She comes for 5 minutes and then goes home. So there's ways that you have to open your mind. Yes. You have to be prepared. There is money to be made. And my mission and my platform is always, if you're doing what you love, it should bring you profit, purpose, and joy. Ooh, there's no reason we can't have all three of those. So as we wrap up, Jennifer, excited to come, excited to be in St. Louis, excited to have people listen to you. Let's reach out to Jennifer and start getting those things, questions in. And Jennifer, wrap up by telling everybody why they should, if they're on the fence, why they need to go ahead and submit and register to come and attend.
Well, first of all, I'm going to be there. Bobby's going to be there. We're all going to be there. It's going to be a great time. And I think that this is one of the few wedding conferences that is not trying to sell you on anything in particular. It is strictly trying to educate you on how you as an individual can take tangible items that you are going to learn from this conference and immediately go back and implement them into your business. I'm talking same day things that you can do to make a difference. And that is what drew me to even apply to want to be a speaker, because I realized that I like to go places where the overall goal is, how can we feed these people this knowledge so that they leave and that they are better than they were when they got here? So if you want to be better than you were when you walked through the door, if you want to be entertained, if you want to do a little dance while I'm on stage, then you need to come.
Exactly. Leaving better than when you arrived.
Right.
And personally and professionally, you can grow. Yes. So come join us. We can't wait to see you in St. Louis. It's a wonderful place to visit. Middle of the United States, folks. Easy to get there by a plane. Right. And it won't be super hot. Although with global warming, it might be 115 in November. Who knows? But we'll see you in St. Louis. Jennifer and I can't wait to meet you. Thank you, Jennifer. Super excited. So glad you're part of this. Again, everybody, get those tickets. Aaron, the education committee, they have all done an amazing job to bring you one of the best conferences in the wedding industry. As Jennifer says, that's not selling you anything or empty dreams. It's selling you to believe in yourself and giving you tools to grow. Thank you, Jennifer. We'll see you in St. Louis.
Thanks for having me.